Hey guys, first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
By the way, Neil, we always say that at the top of every video, what fan it is, and it's also the last fan of the night.
Yes, last fan of the night.
You gotta do it with us. Okay, let's try it again with Neil.
There's just so many fans.
I know. 1, 2, 3. First,
fan.
okay, the first and then last because we're only gonna test one today, I think.
Yeah.
So, first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
You say first fan of the night. They're doing a bad impression of me. They're mocking me. So you gotta be one of the people that mocks me. So first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
night.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, you can do whatever your bad Dan impression is, and then it's also the last fan of the night.
Last fan of the night.
So if you want to see more behind the scenes content, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. So this is not an official test video. This is the Rotaire. You guys have seen this in so many videos over the years. It's been hanging in my mom's basement pretty much since I found it. I think this is the first time it's ever moved out of the basement, Pete.
Yeah, I would say.
And we've been talking about hanging it here at the barn for a while. We're going to do that today. But first, we're not going to do a full test rig. There's no point to doing a decade capacitor or anything like that. But we're going to see how it behaves in the solid state so we can determine whether or not we're going to put it on a solid state versus just on off.
Okay.
So first, I guess let's do 0 to high, huh? So we know what it...
Okay.
What's it set to? Oh, it's set to watts. Yeah.
Okay.
It's drawn it had a big inrush and it's drawn 1.36 amps, 96 watts, power factor of 0.6.
Okay, so half a power factor.
Yep. Well, a little bit more than half, yep.
Yeah.
God, that thing is makes it cold in here when it points at me.
Oh.
So, one thing I've noticed, you always want to be real careful anytime you're doing anything gear driven on when you're changing the speed of it. You don't want to let it stall or be at too slow of a speed too long because it'll chew the gears up. So let's try it on the solid state, but let's be real careful.
Okay. Well, there's a quick spin down.
Yep.
Let it stop. So
Yep.
you can see what it's. Okay. Pushing it up till it starts.
It's drawing something. It's drawing almost a full amp. How far are you from high?
I'm at like 10. We're at 10 o'clock position.
Okay.
So where's?
We're at 1.2 is where we are now. Move it to high. Let's see if there's a big difference. Yeah, I hear a big difference.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, we'll have to have it with a high, low speed. If we're gonna do it on a variable speed, we'll just have to do it with a low speed trim set incredibly high. Otherwise, we just have it on on-off switch, and that's really at this point. I think I would say that's Metal Pete's call. Do you have a preference, or do you not know yet? Do you want to think about it?
Sort of thinking of it. We can at least hang it, and when I come back, I'll do the wiring.
And then figure out what you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I could do is take the light switch from the loft and make that a 2-gang.
You could, or you could do the fan above it or below it too.
Yeah.
Which that's the wind outside.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else that so you want to play with the variable speed on? See how far down you can go. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we don't want it somewhere it's going to stall. A fan with gears in it stalled would be, again, it'll chew up the gears. So taking it back to about where you had it, about like 10 o'clock or so.
What's it drawing now?
1.27, so a little more than it was before. Now, there's a noticeable difference. It's got like a high and a medium. There's not really a low.
No.
But
I kind of wonder if there's really a point.
to putting it on a control?
Yes, at this point, the way it's behaving, and it's like, there is somewhat of a noticeable difference, but as far as using it, like to move air, I'm still feeling a lot of air regardless.
Well, here's another idea then. If you don't want it on a speed control, we could mount a box somewhere like higher up and put a pull chain in the box and just have a pull chain for it that you could reach from the stairs. No, not metal. Okay.
Not that. Yeah, I might just.
Yeah, I think Pete's got a good point. I think solid state for this is probably unnecessary because your range of speeds is barely noticeable. Like if you came in here and it was on this speed, oh, now it's like off.
I just turn it
Oh,
off.
okay. If you came in here and it was on the lower speed, you wouldn't know whether or not it was on high without checking the control.
Exactly.
So-
Kind of like this heater here, which we decided.
Right, the heater has a high and a low setting, but when you there's no real difference, so you might as well run it on high.
Exactly.
Okay.
Fan.
And it will do 0 to high again because I didn't have it on the right setting for 0 to high.
All right. Is it on amps?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, goes up to 1.83 and then drops to 1.37 is where we're at, 3.6. Would you want to do RPMs or CFM or not really for this?
Not really for this.
Anything else you want to do with this on video?
No.
Okay.
It's like you're saying because it's gear driven to rotate.
Right.
That it would not be the best or smartest thing to do.
Understood. So, okay, well, then that's all we have for this one. This is a shorter video than usual. But as always, we can thank our sponsors. You want to go grab, I think Rick took 2 of our sponsors in there last night if you want to go grab them. Oh, there's one there. Oh, get that soda can from that Leslie speaker back there. You see there's a soda can hid in there, Neil?
Now what's in there?
Nothing. I was wrong. Rick brought him back out here. So our original sponsor, of course, Fan Stick. Pete's going to show Fan Stick here in the video. So what's the slogan for Fan Stick?
Fan
First
stick.
one is, well, buy Fan Stick.
Buy
Fan Sticks. This is Fan Stick, Neil. This is one of our sponsors.
Yes.
This is one of our other sponsors, Sperry.
Yeah.
What's the slogan for Sperry, Pete?
Very good.
Very good. Oh, we've increased in quality since the last batch.
I mean,
Okay, you can put that back. And of course, Light Stick.
yes.
And Pete was about to give the other slogan for Fan Stick, which is Fan Stick is the solution to all of my problems. What other sponsors we got?
Taco Burrito.
Taco Burrito Mexico. Neil, that's a real restaurant up in Green Bay. So I've told this story before, but I don't think I've ever told it to Neil. I was up there with me and Lil Joey. You know Lil Joey,
Yes,
Pete.
I do.
We're playing for a church in Green Bay, and my guy T, who plays percussion, had invited us. And afterwards, I was like, T, where can we get something to eat that's near the church? He said, we'll go to Culver's. I said, well, I want to eat something that we don't have everywhere. I can go to Culver's at home. He said, well, you should go to Taco Burrito Mexico. And I thought that was just like he was being ignorant and calling the Mexican restaurant that, because that's where it's Mexicans and tacos and burritos. And I said, T, I need the real name to put in my GPS. He said, Taco Burrito Mexico. I said, never mind, just tell me how to get there. And then so me and Lil Joey pulled up, and guess what the sign said?
It said
Taco Burrito Mexico. So then when me and Andy took a fan hunting road trip, we stopped at Taco Burrito Mexico. So now it is the official Mexican restaurant of fan videos. It's where you go when you want to get a taco, a burrito, or a Mexico. What other sponsors we got?
Oh yeah, the Good Manufacturing.
The Good Manufacturing Company. So you see those lights right there, Neil?
Yeah.
That's literally the name of the company that made those, is the Good Manufacturing Company. And we thought that was amusing because like they could go better than good, you know.
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, of course.
I was at the post office today, and the postman was...
Never mind, he's not allowed to talk. This
mailing a
story is boring
package-
already.
Listen, mailing a package to Ordinary Lane.
Oh, I've heard
Yes,
of
we
Ordinary
do
Lane.
have Ordinary Lane.
Yeah, that's where
No, I think it's kind of funny.
yeah,
It's
it's where
very ordinary.
it's where boring people like Neil live. Yeah, so that's the Good Manufacturing Company, and we have a slogan for them. Pete, do you remember what the slogan is? For when excellence is too much.
Too much.
What other sponsors do we have?
Oh yeah, and the game.
Oh, so we have a game that we play. It's called Rick or Sheep. Did you meet Rick?
No.
Okay.
I did meet the sheep, though.
You did meet the sheep.
Yeah.
So when you hear a noise, it could be Rick or it could be sheep, and you have to guess which. And this originated because the first time that Rick came here, he said he would be here at like 10, and he didn't show up till let's just say after midnight. And so every time after 10, we heard a noise, we thought it was Rick arriving, but it turned out to be sheep. So Pete and I were here, in all seriousness, going, I heard something. Is that Rick? Oh, it was just sheep. So from now on, we play Rick or Sheep the game. And it's a pretty easy game. You don't even need a noise to do it. For example, is this Rick or Sheep?
Oh.
Could be either. Sheep, okay. So, is that all the sponsors, Pete? Oh, no. 81220 LLC,
Oh, yes.
where our motto is crunch, 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 crunch. I don't know how we explain that one. Okay.
Well, that's a control capacitor.
Pete's favorite
value.
speed control is a control that uses the capacitor values 8, 12, and 20. And he gets super excited whenever we're testing a fan and we get to those values. And Pete also is the loudest chewing person I've ever met in my life. Nobody chews louder than Metal Pete. And he'll always bring a bag of chips to fan testing day. And I say, for the love of God, Pete, can you wait to chew loudly until the camera's not rolling? But now he never fails. He always chews loudly on camera. So he's now only allowed to chew loudly when we are testing fans and we reach the capacitor value 8, 12, and 20, which are his favorite capacitor values. So we made that into a faux company, the 81220 LLC. Their slogan is crunch, 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 crunch. So now every time we get to, we didn't do 81220 on this because.
No, we're not even gonna do
Why is there applause?
Why can't you get a keyboard and you push buttons and it makes funny sounds?
I never thought of that. We wanted Pete to set up drums and have like rim shots and stuff like that.
Ooh, that would be good.
But your sound effects would be good too. Well, that can be your job. Do you have a keyboard that does sound effects?
I'm sure I could input some,
Okay, that's Neil. That's Neil's job.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Yeah, Neil will work on that. Is that everything, Pete?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, so once again, if you want to support the content of this channel, you can go to patreon.com/dspiffy. How else can they support us, Pete?
Buy
Buy fan stick. Thanks for watching.